So yeah, like documentaries and shit are historical. You know, a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, that's right.
Not all of them are based on complete fact, because obviously, you know, not every single one is based on like 100 complete facts. You know, sometimes documentaries can be speculative. You know, they can be speculating sometimes, but
yeah.
a lot.
But sometimes when you watch these documentaries, you can actually see the evidence in a kind of way with,
definitely,
with what they wore,
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
You know, so you kind of understand. You know, I kind of get a picture of how the Romans looked, for instance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can quite easily imagine myself go back in time and be a Roman. Do you know what I mean? Be in a war of some sort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, get an understanding of how they were living at that time, and how they dressed and how they ate, and their lives, that person's life at that time.
That's right.
The life of an average everyday Roman person or Greek person.
It's quite easy to
at that time, you know.
It's quite easy to close your eyes actually and to imagine.
And imagine, yeah.
You know, you can go back into time.
Yeah.
Into Roman time even, you know.
Yeah.
And pretend you're making a clay pot even, you know.
Yeah.
And being with a woman, you know.
Yeah.
Or by a river.
Yeah.
And having a child. You can imagine all sorts of things.
All that shit, yeah.
But you can imagine how times were then. You didn't have electric then.
No.
No internet, do you know what I mean?
Well, I think they did have electric to a degree, you know. Because I think the Egyptians definitely had some form of electrical power.
Yeah, but they definitely didn't have mobiles.
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like.
Or washing machines.
I don't know what happened along the line, but I believe I believe there is evidence of the Egyptians having knowledge of electrical power.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that is possible. Yeah, it is possible.
So I don't know. I don't really know when they fully. That's good. You know, something to look up actually. You know, when they fully understood and were able to understand how to harness electricity, you know what I mean, like on a global scale, if you see what I mean, where they can have every country with their own electrical system and supply and etc. for every household, every community, every etc.
I mean, that's the pyramids being batteries and all this about electrical. That's just a theory, isn't it?
Well, the pyramids were for orgone energy.
Well, it is a theory.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's lots of theories.
But I think they had knowledge of anti-gravity as well, anti-gravity, and how that works. You know. Anti-gravity, how to move shit with anti-gravity. You know. So I don't know. I just believe there's a lot of evidence to suggest that they had knowledge of electrical power. So. But I don't know how many years ago it was that actually we were able to like establish like electricity pretty much all across the world on a global scale. Not every single place in the world today's got electricity, or you know, or everywhere in that country or island or whatever, you know, because there are still some places today that are still quite secluded and not, you know, whatever. But you know, today we've got electricity pretty much on a global scale. If you see what I mean.
That's right.
You know, so.
But I'm thinking. Nothing lasts forever.
No.
Yeah.
But we have got free electricity today too as well. You know, free harness electricity today, where it's like wind turbines and these different things today that naturally produce energy anyway. A certain percentage of our energy naturally through the wind turbines and stuff that they've built, and like you know, so we have come to a deeper understanding too of how over time and throughout history, you know, of how, you know, how to improve our electrical systems and how, you know, how we can harness free electricity so we always have electricity, you know. Well, even today, I've even saved the video on my phone to show you. I was watching a video earlier on Instagram very quickly, and it was basically this person showing you how you can make a light. If you see what I mean, how to basically have free electricity, basically how to like just have free electricity with magnets and copper, like this copper wiring and everything else they had in this magnet. Showing you how he was using basically this magnet to turn the light on. Okay. And shit.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, wow, like it's, you know. And they've also even found plants today that exist that have a certain amount of electrical current running through them.
Oh yeah.
If you see what I mean.
I think everything alive's got current.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
There's no doubt about it. Even a tree could get an electric shock.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see when lightning hits a tree, it completely falls apart.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Dead.
Dead, yeah. Yeah.
I think you know, it's interesting. Like when you are growing up, like say you start discovering that you got a bit of your own life is history itself.
Yeah, your own history. Your own history. Who your parents are, and getting a deeper understanding. You know, your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles and maybe your siblings as well, and understanding their history too, because you might have siblings who are born before you. So as you get to a certain age, oh yeah, my brother was born 5 years before me, or my sister was born 5 years before me. They were born on this date. So in your mind, that's a historical thing that you've implemented into your brain through, because that's your sibling, your loved one, if you see what I mean, you know. So I can remember, you know, I know my, you know, same way you know your brother's birthday today, you know, because, you know, there's something you were taught, if you see what I mean, that's part of your history growing up, if you see what I mean, there's a, you know, a very small fragment of it, you know, a very small part of it, but, you know, something, you know.
Like funny enough, like
you learn your parents' history sometimes as well. You learn where your parents went to school and their upbringing, and you know, or whatever the case may be, and how they were raised and how their parents were. They might tell you how their parents were as parents. Might explain to you how their parents.
They do.
You know, explain to you, you know, how, you know, whether or not they were good parents or bad parents, or how you know, basically, and give you a bit of a historical understanding. You might give you might shape your view kind of thing towards your grandparents or whatever the case may be, or you know.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wish, right, because I love my granddad, okay, but I did say that I lived with my nan and granddad, okay, and my granddad used to sort of do gardening, you know, in his little farm, you know, and he was, when he got time, he used to do some painting, oil painting.
Yeah.
And he had his little tool shed,
yeah,
and every man loves his own shed, apparently, that's an old quote, okay, and he used to sort of keep away really from the hand in the kitchen and do painting sometimes, you know. Do you know what I mean? I used to watch him.
Yeah.
And I wish I asked him more questions now. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
About the war, about this, because I mean he did talk about the war a lot, right? But I was too young really. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't interested, but I wish I was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wish I had more understanding of his experience really for it, or where did he go to and all this sort of stuff, do you know what I mean, yeah? But unfortunately he died when I was, you know, age 15, and I couldn't sort of ask him those questions that you do want to ask in a funny way when you're growing up, do you know what I mean? And, you know, I regret really not asking him those questions when I was younger, but how can you when you don't know?
Yeah.
In a funny way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't, no.
But yeah, you do learn through history, through your own parents, whatever, you know, which is interesting, you know. But like I say, you get an you know, like I said, I wasn't personally interested in history at all.
Yeah.
I only started getting interested in history recently, really, in the last 10 years, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And studying it a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, and going deeper. And like I said, you know, when I did have history class at school, I was daydreaming. I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? That was me. I wasn't interested in that. You know, I went in my own world, basically. And I did do my homework or anything, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, so I couldn't really read or write, do you know what I mean? So my life's a bit different to everyone else's, you know. And, yeah, we learn, you know, I feel like, okay, I'm 57 now, whatever, nearly. I feel like I'm 2057 anyway, you know, because I've done so much history now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've lived the Romans, you know, and I've lived this, do you know what I mean?
Learned so much history.
Yeah, you know, and...
I spent a lot of years too, mate, don't worry, I spent a lot of years too, doing a lot of research and
well, you do
history
want to
and
ask.
that type of shit. Well, just like most people aren't trying to find answers to all those questions that most of us have, if you see what I mean.
No, you do want to sort of...
You know?
How do we get here, for goodness sake, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we are here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the fact of the matter, do you know what I mean? We are here today, all of us, you know. Getting older every minute,
That's it.
by the way, you know.
Time is ticking.
Like, tomorrow we'll all be a day older, and so will the earth, by the way, do you know what I mean? The whole universe will be a day older tomorrow, you know. It's brand new. This is the sort of, the, you know, the newest day the universe has ever had in a funny way, you know. But I don't think universe is just the universe. It doesn't have days or light, does it? It's just the universe, do you know what I mean?
It just exists.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think the universe has clocks either, you know? And like I have said before, but water, all these elements, like gold for instance, you know, it looked the same a million years ago. Water did. You know, it stays still. Don't change, you know. It don't change. It don't get older, does it? Water. It don't get wrinkly. Well, it does when it blows, you know. You know, but it doesn't get old. Well, it can go stale, you know, and dirty.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't. You know. It doesn't get old, does it? It doesn't get younger either. You know. It's the same age.
Yeah.
You know. It stays the same age, and this is the funny thing. You know, that's what I thought about anyway. You know that. You know, maybe there's no age at all. You know, or no time. You know, it just is.
Yeah. Well, time is just a man-made construct for our society that exists. You know, we know there's 12 hours of sunlight in most places today, and 12 hours of darkness.
And the winter, autumn,
you know?
spring, summer.
That's it. You know, so you know that's just the basis of it. You know, 12 hours of each. You know, and you know, so you know to do with the movements of the sun, pretty much. You know, and it works. It works for our societal construct, if you see what I mean. You know, we know. We know the time in the morning when we wake up. We know what time it is in the morning, if you see what I mean. You know, like if you want to go to the shops, we know the shops close at 9 o'clock. If you want to check to see what time it is, you know, if you don't have time. You know, the shops say we close at 9 o'clock, but we don't have any clocks, so we can't check to see what time it is. You know, we might be too late. You know, we go down.
Can you imagine though, like a world, right? Like if they did not invent clocks. You know, man did not invent clocks.
It'd be very strange though.
They did invent wheels, alright? We did have cars, but we didn't have clocks. They didn't invent it yet. You know, we've invented the internet and TV, but we've not invented clocks yet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine the world without clocks?
Yeah.
Because can you imagine a world without wheels?
Yeah.
In a different way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you couldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, and it just shows you that everything really is a kind of an invention.
Yeah.
You know, all man-made.
Well, it is definitely. Yeah, it's just like the whole construct of 365 days a year. You know, and all these different things, 7 days of the week. You know, and etc. Like how we've chosen to construct our society. You know, so that we all understand what's going on and know where we are, kind of thing. You know, and etc. You know.
Every book's got an author.
Yeah.
To it, you know.
Yeah. I try not to like overthink it anymore either when it comes to like time either. Like I think sometimes, like you said as well, time is what's the word I'm looking for? It's relative. If that makes sense. It's like you said, it depends on the situation. You know, some days you might be at work and it might feel like a very, very long day. If you see what I mean, you know, you might feel like you've been there all day. It's not going to end. You know, it's never ending. And then the next day you might be off and you might be having a great time, and it might feel like just a few hours have gone by and the day's ended. You know, so I try not to if you see what I mean, try not to overthink it too much. You know, I just try to make the most of every day. You know, and
Oh, I look forward to. That's another thing. You know, I think you got to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I do. You know, I look forward to actually next year.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm good at cooking already. You know, well, not bad, but I'll get better at cooking by then, and I'll get better at lots of different things. Really, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what life's all about, I think, just getting better. Getting better.
Improving.
Looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
You know, don't dread the future, you know, because like no one knows the future.
No.
And I say this is the future now. You know, I think Albert Einstein wrote a quote: "I don't worry about the future because it'll be here soon enough."
Yeah. Well, the future is 2 minutes from now. Literally.
Well, it never comes really.
Well,
it's like tomorrow never comes.
It's like
what I mean?
2 minutes from now is future. You know, we don't know what's going to happen in 2 minutes from now. If you see what I mean, you know, there might be a car come around the corner, you know, and playing really loud music in 2 minutes time from now, you know, but we didn't know they were going to come around the corner. You know what I mean? The future. If you see what I mean,
that's it.
You know, it's
well, let's look in the future.
Just
let's go to the future. 200 years in the future right now.
Yeah.
Now what are we thinking?
I think we're going to be a very much artificial intelligence kind of.
Yeah, but where are we going to be?
I think human beings.
Where are we going to be by then?
I don't know.
200 years time. Does it matter about this earth or what it's going to be? Does it matter to us?
Well, I think it does, because at the end of the day, we do have to try and look after the earth in order to preserve it. If you see what I mean, you know, if we do want to continue society, you know, if we want our society to continue our society, if you see what I mean, on Earth, you know, continue to live on Earth, we have to start looking after the planet more. If you see what I mean, nature.
That's right, yeah.
You know, we need to, you know, start looking after this shit, because as we all know, we're destroying it. You know, every day we're destroying it more and more and more, and it's having a huge impact on all sorts of shit. If you see what I mean, you know, on the planet. And it's starting to get to a point where it's getting, you know, starting to get to a point where it's getting destroyed, to the point where we don't want to get to a point, what I'm trying to say is where it goes beyond being fixed, if you see what I mean. If it gets to the point where it's irreversible, be it just, you know, we've done so much damage that the planet is just self-destructing, if you see what I mean, that, you know, we've destroyed it because of our own negligence and ignorance.
And we are. You know, a lot of people are ignorant.
Mm.
You know, that's that. You know, they can't help it.
If we want to continue our history, we have to. You know, we have to change. You know, we have to do better and be better. You know. Yeah.
Well, sometimes people are forced to change.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We need to change. Anything that's not change, how I look at change is growth. Like, you know, anything that's not growing or evolving is either dead or regressing, isn't it? If you see what I mean, you know, or a standstill. You know, it's not, you know, growth is essential. You know, we all grow as human beings. But I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago. You're not the same person that you were 10 years ago.
Definitely not.
You know, we all grow. Like, everything grows, like, and evolves and changes, and you know, our mindsets change. Like, when I was a young teenager, I was in the streets, like, you know what I mean, and my mindset was a completely different mindset to what I've got, you know, my mindset like today. My mindset today is on a completely different level and different place today. You see what I mean? In comparison to where I was 15 years, okay, I'm 30 now. In comparison to where I was 15 years ago, I'm almost like a completely different person. If you see what I mean? Almost, like, you know. It's like we go through transformations in life. We're almost like you know, the butterfly is so significant in a way. You know, if you get what I'm trying to say, like the evolution, you know, the caterpillar, you know, and you know, it's like we all go through the growth stages, and we all evolve, and you know, so.
I'd say every decade, like, is a change in a way. You know, like.
Well, they also say that every 7 years too, your consciousness changes as well, your mindsets and your consciousness changes as well.
I would say that as well.
It's every 7 years apparently. That's why even in the marriages, you know, they hold that old saying of the 7 year itch.
Yeah.
They say that's where
that. It's the 13-year.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 13-year itch.
Okay.
Or the 12-year itch, one of the two.
Oh, okay.
You have to make it common and let us know.
And let us know, yeah, which is right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But I would say apparently that's where that quote.
I thought it was a 12-year itch.
Okay. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Normally, marriages break up after 12 years on average, apparently.
On average, okay, that's interesting.
Which mine did that, funny enough.
Well, I'm 10 years in, so let's hope I keep going. You know, let's hope the numbers keep going.
But that's, you know, like, that's history to me, marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's part of your history.
It is, you know, and
not only personal, but family.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everyone knows your mum, obviously because of your kids, your mum having grandkids and etc. You know, and you know.
Yeah.
And part of your, not only part of your wife's, your ex-wife's history, your children's history, her family's history, your family's history, your friends around you history, because they might have been a part of your wedding or a part of your, you know, part of your lives during the time that you were together and married and you're coming up with your kids. You know, you might have play dates with their kids and their families, and you know, everyone's history is integrated, interconnected. If you see what I mean. Very interesting, you know. It's, you know.
But like, you think like your first 10 years is completely different to the, you know, 10 years when you're 10 to 20.
Oh, for sure. You're the big difference between who you are
life,
when you're 10.
I'm talking about the life.
Yeah.
Your life that age, you know, I can kind of remember it, you know, a little bit, okay, not much.
Yeah.
But, and you see other children that age,
they
play, you know, and you can see what you were like in a funny way when you were younger, you know, you sort of look, you know, when you get older, it kind of like I say, I can look at my history now, where I couldn't when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? I can see my marriage now, you know, and all this kind of stuff, you know. I can see the friends I've had as well, you know. And I don't really want to make, well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind making a few new friends in the future, do you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm not going to go out there looking too much, do you know what I mean? I'm happy and content with what I've got, you know, what I've had in a funny way, you know, with the friends I've had or whatever in the past.
In the past, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a number of friends I've had in the past, do you know what I mean? And I've not seen them for a number of years. It's like they're dead, but they're probably still alive, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think it happens to all of us, really. We go to school, we meet a lot of people that we know and all make friends with and play with. And then time goes on, you get married and you lose those friends at school, don't you? You know, and life changes in a funny, weird way, you know. And all those people, I mean, every one of those people that I went to school with, all of them, I've not seen them for a long time now, do you know what I mean? I don't know whether they're all dead or alive. All those people at school, you know. I know some of them have died actually, do you know what I mean? A guy called John Turner, who used to be a friend with, he died about 5 years back. You know, and who knows who's dead, who is alive, really, you know, out there, you know. You know, it's like my mum, sometimes I phone her up and just hope that she's going to answer the phone, do you know what I mean? You know, she's getting on now, you know, and I would say that you've got to appreciate life, and you've got to appreciate people, really, in a funny way, that you never know when, you know, when you see someone that you love, that might be the last time you ever see him. So
God forbid, yeah, it's true. You've
got to remember that. You've just got to appreciate and
make the most of it.
You got to understand that you know that could be the last second that you see each other. Do you know what I mean? If you understand that, you'll appreciate. You know, have an understanding to that. I think you have an intelligence basically to appreciate life a little bit more. You know. Yeah. I think actually appreciation is sort of an intelligence in a funny way. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, because it's being knowledgeable of the fact that we all are mortal beings.
Yeah, we're not here forever.
Remembering our own mortality and others around us, because especially when you're young, you forget about your own mortality. You feel like you're invincible. You know, you forget all about it, especially when you're in your early teenage years, 20s, maybe even your early 30s for some people, even, you know, depending on the person. You know, they forget about their own mortality, you know, but as we all get older and time goes by, you know, we get older and, you know, everything grows and everything grows.
Well, so, you know, I'm 56, yeah, like I said, keep saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting on, but I'm learning to appreciate life more than I ever did do.
Yeah.
You know, when I was married, I didn't appreciate life so much.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't really worry in, you know, that I've only got, I had plenty of time left, you know, I wasn't worried about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, thinking about everything else.
Exactly, you know. But appreciation is, I think it's an intelligence actually, but it's not just that, you know, it took me a long time to, I suppose, you know, I had to go through a lot, I suppose, you know, like losing my wife for instance, you know, that really broke my heart, you know, after being with her for so long and whatever, and having children with her, and that, you know, and you know, I was grieving for a number of years, you know, whatever, you know, mentally, you know, but all this made me appreciate life, you know, more than ever.
Gave you a new perspective.
That's right, and then I think it was 10 years ago I had a brain seizure and nearly died, do you know what I mean? And that's another thing, when you have these little experiences of near-death experiences, you appreciate life even more, you know?
For sure, yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm going to have, you know, when I'm going to have another one, do you know what I mean? I had one for a long, you know, 10 years, it's the first one I've ever had. But it nearly killed me, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you have these little experiences, whatever, which scare you a little bit, you know, whatever, or just teach you a lesson, you know, in life, whatever.
Well, sometimes for some people that's what it takes, for them to kind of wake up and realise, you know, make the most of life. You know, sometimes people get so caught up in the societal pressures and life and work and work and life and everything else that consumes our lives as human beings, that people forget about these things. But then when something catastrophic happens, or something, you know, something happens, it puts life into perspective, and reminds them that, you know, we're all on limited time, we're all on borrowed time, you know, let's make the most of it and, you know, focus on what's important, you know, and make the most of that, if you see what I mean, you know. So yeah, you know.
I think when you're younger, right, you don't really care or worry. You do think you're going to live forever.
You do.
In a funny way, yeah. And I can remember being young, you know, and first getting my first home with my ex-wife, whatever, and buying lots of bits and pieces, you know, thinking I'm going to live forever, you know, and you're not.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, now I'm, you know, like I say, I'm thinking sort of, I ain't got long left, I better get rid of everything, you know what I mean? You know, give it away.
Declutter.
Well, give it all away before I die, you know, if you see what I mean, you know. And I think, again, you know, people, even myself, you know, are guilty for it, that you get lost in things that you fall in love with in a funny way. You know, you see something you love or you wouldn't mind, and you pay for it in a funny way because you want it in your home, you know. And people kind of get lost in this material world in a funny way, and forget themselves again, you know. Which, you know, you don't need all this stuff really, you know, just got to really appreciate you got arms and legs, you're alive, don't matter if you ain't got loads of money really, you know, it's good money, but you know, you got appreciation is an intelligence, I'm telling you, you know, and it took me a long time to get the appreciation that I've actually got, you know. I'm going through a lot of bad times or whatever, you know, and
I tell you what too, right, mate, I found, even for my own self personally, right, the more grateful you are, the more appreciative you are, the more thankful you are for life and everything that you have and the blessings that you have, I find that it brings abundance, happiness, not only happiness and contentness, but even more abundance, even more blessings.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like it helps to almost manifest more blessings in your life, because it's like, you know, whatever, you know, God or the universe or whatever is blessing you with in your life, it's like you're so grateful and thankful for it. It's like it gets multiplied, if you see what I mean. Like, you know. But I found anyway, personally, even for myself personally. You know.
Yeah, that's you're exactly right there, because I feel the same, you know, and I feel like tomorrow it's going to feel even better. Do you know what I mean? Because I've not always been peace of mind. Do you know what I mean? Because like I say, I was absolutely crazy angry because my ex-wife met somebody else. Do you know what I mean? For a number of years, you know, it just blew my life apart. Really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.